Hey guys, in this video we're gonna solve problem 6, which has like a nice little ring to it when you write it down, which is like, it's got like coshx times coshx, and then plus sinx times sinx, and then of course dx. And remember, this dx is multiplying like all of this, right? Okay, now despite the cuteness of writing those two adjacent and these two adjacent, this I think is the most boring of the 20 problems on the 2018 qualifying exam, and hence why it's the last one I'm recording. And I think it's boring because like the minute we rewrite our integral as follows, which is coshx, and then we replace coshx with what it equals, which is e to the x plus e to the negative x divided by 2, and then plus sine x times sinch x is e to the x, and then it's minus e to the negative x divided by 2. The minute we do this, and then of course multiply by dx, this integral, which is the same as our original integral, is dominated by these four integrals. It's all about these four integrals. This first integral I've called A, and then 2 is B, and then 3 is C, and 4 is D. So this is why I think it's boring, because a couple of months back I solved this integral here, and you solve it through a technique you learn in Calc 2 called integration by parts. So, like, would you really want to do integration by parts 4 times? No, that's why I think this is boring. But of course, you can kind of cheat and mimic your steps from solving this integral and more efficiently solve the other integrals. And you can see, like, there's some symmetry in the answers because, again, the 4 integrals are so similar to each other, right? And so the answers are also very similar. And I don't know if I already said this, but yeah, as I said, I might have said I solved this already, and I'll link the video solution to this integral A below this video. Yeah? Okay, you can just check that out, and that should suffice for knowing how to solve B, C, and D. Yeah? Okay, cool. And if it's not clear how this original integral is just about the 4 integrals A, B, C, and D, then let's simplify it a little bit more, and you'll see that I'm not lying. First, we can factor out a 1/2 and write it in front of the integral, and then we can distribute this cosine to these two guys and write that we have integral of e to the x times cos x, and so that's about A, integral A, and then we have plus, and then we have e to the x, e to the negative x rather, sorry guys, e to the negative x, and then times cosine x, right? And that's about integral B, and then we'll have plus, and next we distribute the sine x to here and here, and so we'll have e to the x times sine x, and this is about integral C, and then finally we'll have minus, because of this minus sign, and then we'll have e to the negative x times sine x, which is about integral D. And of course, all of this is multiplied by dx. So we can distribute this dx to these 4 guys and instead write 4 separate integrals, but we also have to distribute the 1/2 from the left. And so, like, we can write like that we have dx here, and then I have a little bit of room, that's why I intentionally left some space between the terms. Then there's that, and then I could write now 1/2 plus, oh my bad, plus 1/2, the 1/2 goes here, right? And then integral, and then a dx here, so I had more space than I thought, and then plus, here it's a little crowded, and then plus 1/2, and then integral, and then dx, right? And then finally, and here it's crucial to note that this is a minus sign in front of this integral, but it's minus 1/2, right? And then integral symbol, and then, ooh, that's crowded, Okay, there we are. There we are. And then dx, yeah? Cool. So this just says that what we have is 1/2 of a, right? 1/2 a, right? And then plus 1/2 b, and then that b, right? And then no, sorry y'all, b, one more. Okay, and then plus 1/2 c, right? And that's this. And then finally minus 1/2 d is special. It's negative of 1/2 d, right? It's negative of d. Okay, which by the way comes with a negative in front of the answer anyway, so that's a nice detail to pay attention to. Yeah, okay, cool, we're almost there, y'all. Okay. Pimp's trying to catch a woman that's weak across 110th Street. All right, so now I guess like it might actually be helpful to like factor out the 1/2 from all four terms and just write a plus b plus c and then minus d. Okay, and since addition can be done out of order, we're gonna first add a and c because they have like nice things that combine about them. So when we add a and c, right, so this sum here is going to make what? Like, so we get e to the x sine x and then divided by 2, and we have e to the x sine x and then divided by 2. So we still have this 1/2, but we have 1/2 and then a plus c so far is 2 e to the x sine x divided by 2. And this is so far what we've got for a plus c, right? But we still might have more, and I'll tell you we don't. And that's because we'll get e to the x plus cos x divided, well, let me do that again. E to the x times positive cos x divided by 2. And then we have, down here, we have e to the x times negative cos x divided by 2. They combine to 0. So this is all you get for a plus c. And no wonder I wanted to jump at that first then. Right? Okay, so that's a plus c. And of course, this and this cancel. And then, of course, we need to now do b minus d, which has similar convenience. First, notice that since d comes with a negative sign here, we could just do d plus c so long as I change this instead of a minus to a plus, right? Right there. I changed the answer for d, which came with a negative, to a positive, and then that just allows me to write plus d there, right? And since we already combined a and c, we just need to combine b and d here. And so let's look at b and d. So looking at b and d, we get e to the negative x times sine x divided by 2, and then plus, right? Because I've changed that to a plus. But plus what? Plus e to the negative x times sine x divided by 2. Oh, that's just 2 of those. So it's 2 times e to the negative x times sine x divided by 2. And if you've checked the answer to this question on the MIT website, you know that I don't write anything more, right? Because we need to get a factor of sine x in the answer, and we have that. We have a sine x here and we have a sine x here, and of course this 2 and this 2 take care of each other also, right? All right. So why don't I have anything else? Because this says e to the negative x times negative cosine x divided by 2, and then we have e to the negative x times positive cosine x divided by 2. So those combine to nothing, right? So this is all we've got. And now what could you do with this? Well, first you can factor out a sine x, right? So you factor out a sine x, all right, sine x, and then you'll have left e to the x, and then plus e to the negative x divided by 2, which you reckon is coshx. So our final answer is equal to coshx times sine x. Why did I lead with the coshx? So sine x times coshx, and then plus c. There it is. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.